Hello everybody and welcome to Expeditious Fool Tarot. My name's Brandon, here with the Lightworkers card pull of the day. It's an interesting reminder today. A lot to think about. We've got the Queen of Swords. Make sure y'all can see that right there. Now the Queen of Swords, as soon as I pulled this card, I got a feeling. And it's something that we're definitely all fighting with right now, right? Well, not just now, but it's more prevalent in mainstream, but it's a daily struggle as well. And I think sometimes, you know, we let that slip. Is with the Queen of Swords, queens represent patience, right? Swords represent thoughts. Thoughts, a lot of times, you know, a lot of times people see the swords in a reading and they get scared, right? Because the thought issues are painful, right? And that is a lot of times the ego. A lot of times. So with that, I take this as, you know, we have to have patience with our thoughts, right? And decide how we want to react to it. And that's part of that ego integration. That's part of that shadow work, you know, because the ego is not something, you know, that we have to kill. We don't have to kill, but we do have to control it. We have to control it because we have to control our reactions to it, right? The Queen of Swords in balance is a very powerful individual, somebody that's very secure in themselves. She sits confidently. She's focused in a direction. She has goals, ambitions. You know, these are all great things, right? But when it gets out of balance and she's focusing too much on that sword and too much on the thought, that's where she gives off mixed messages, right? And as light workers, sometimes we do that. I know I definitely do, and I work hard to try and not give off a mixed message. That way people can see what I'm trying to show, which is my authentic self, which is the only thing that any of us should truly show, right? If I didn't want to show that, I would be doing any of the other career paths that I used to do in life. This is truly who I am, so that's why I try and express that in the best way. But I'm not always the best communicator, you know, as we all struggle with. And that's where, you know, a wise man once told me, be slow to anger, right? If we grip too tightly to this sword, we can give off a mixed message. You know, she's holding her hand out like, come here, but you see that sword there, so you're like, I don't know that I want to go near that. And whether we're light workers or just religious people in general, a lot of times have that problem of coming off, you know, insincere or not with as much authenticity, or sometimes we can come off aggressive and be pushing our thoughts on others, which is definitely not the direction. You know, just expressing ourselves authentically and entertaining other people's ideas because they're allowed to express themselves authentically. So it's definitely a great reminder for us in order to have patience before we jump to our thoughts, patience before we jump to our emotions, you know, which is ultimately mindfulness, right? Because we may not necessarily be responsible for all the emotions we feel, but we are responsible for our reactions to it. And those reactions to it give off different perceptions and things like that, or different distortions sometimes. So that's why it's always best to try and have patience and make sure that you are being authentic to your heart consciousness and making sure that's in charge of the decision-making process, you know, as we're continuing on this light working journey. All right, everybody, have a great day out there. If anybody's looking for a reading, I've got some openings available today. Tomorrow's pretty booked up, but then from Monday through Friday, I at least got several openings, so I'll be able to get you all in. Go ahead and contact me and we'll get you scheduled right away. Thank you so much, everybody, and go have a great day on purpose.